Okay, so we're going to start off, like I said, this triad is all about factoring, and we're going to start off with the most basic lesson. So it says, count the number of squares in each figure. If you go through and you count the number of squares in each figure, what does that tell us? If you go through and count the number of squares in each of these figures, what's that number represent? What's that number tell us about that square? How long it is? Okay, not only how long it is, but what else can it tell us? Okay, well, let's just kind of go through and look at it. So here we have a square, okay, or a rectangle. A square, a rectangle, they're pretty well similar things. A square, rectangle, 4 sides, okay? So how many squares do I have in this? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all I'm going to do underneath that is put the number 6 and box it. That's it for this one.
That's not that gravy. Hold on, she's going to fool y'all.
Now, I warned you previously, we're going to start easy peasy, and we're going to challenge, we're going to step up the challenge each lesson. So in this figure, how many squares do I have? 6 again. Okay. In this figure, how many squares do I have?
16.
Okay. In this figure, how many squares do I have? Now, how many of you guys went through and counted every single square?
No, you do 7
Okay.
times 10.
Okay, so you can, there's multiple ways that you can solve for this. You can either go through and count every single square, or you can take what Kaylon said and somebody else said, just take 7 times 10. Where did you get that number, 7 times 10? So you're saying that there's 7
There's 7 blocks in
here, and then there's 10 that go across, right? So if you take 7 times 10,
7 blocks and it's 10 rows.
that's going to get you 70, right? Do you guys know what you just found there? You took, not the perimeter. Say it again. The area. The perimeter is when you just add the sides. The area talks about the whole surface area of inside this rectangle. So like if I would say, find a perimeter of this room, you would just worry about the border of the room and you just count your steps around the room. But if I want to know the area, like I'm going to put a new linoleum, a new flooring in this room, you're going to have to know the area. And that's when you're going to have to take and find your something times something, whatever the dimensions are. Now, what is this called on the rectangle? What's the area of a rectangle? Do you guys remember the formula for the area of a rectangle? Length times width. Good. So you took your length times your width, because your width is how thick it is, and your length is how long. We're going to use some new language with this, though. We're going to do height times width. Okay? So this would be the height of the rectangle. This would be the width of the rectangle. Okay. My last one here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I have a triangle. How many squares are in this figure?
10.
I disagree. I disagree with 10.
6.
1, 2, 3. Well, let's look here.
8.
Okay, let's see if that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we have a half and a half, that's going to equal 7. And another half and a half, that's going to equal 8.
Told you.
I told you that
Good.
was gonna be the
Okay. That's all our opener is consistent of today. So make sure your name's on them. Make sure your answers are